Hi, this is Kate. Today I want to talk about a just a little analogy that can help you understand um, about the ego and the Holy Spirit. It can be just something that can be helpful, something that can really just help you choose. So imagine you're in a courtroom and someone is being charged with something, and you're sitting on the side of the courtroom, you're sitting with the prosecutor, and he is the ego, and he is going to find someone guilty, and he's going to make his case for why he's guilty. So you're sitting on the side, you're sitting next to the ego lawyer prosecutor, and you're listening to the case against your brother. And this ego lawyer is standing up and making the case for why your brother is guilty. And you are sitting there listening to the ego prosecutor, and you are nodding your head and you are saying, yes, it's terrible, isn't it? Yes, I'm listening. How guilty he is. How bad. And you are suffering from listening to that ego prosecutor that is finding him guilty and bringing in all the reasons why. This ego lawyer is putting lots of meaning on what he did and why he did it. So how do we stop listening to the ego lawyer in the courtroom? We simply get up off our chair and walk on the other side of the courtroom. And sitting down on the other side of the courtroom is the defense lawyer. And he is going to find your brother innocent. So it's as easy as that, is that I am going to stop listening to this prosecutor ego that wants to find my brother guilty, and simply get up, walk over to the other side, sit down, say, okay, Holy Spirit, lawyer, you are going to find my brother innocent. What do you have to say in his defense? So he is the defense lawyer. He's going to defend him to you. So you're in the courtroom. You aren't the ego prosecutor, and you aren't the Holy Spirit defense lawyer. You are the one listening. And that's all we ever do, is listen to one lawyer or another. And when we choose to move over and say, I'm not interested in listening to the other lawyer. You could even put like a wall, maybe a glass wall, some sort of wall up down the middle of the courtroom, and say, I'm not interested in anything you have to say about my brother. The other thing that can be helpful to think about this analogy is when you're sitting with the ego prosecutor lawyer that is bringing all the information and all the remnants of why your brother is guilty. It's like the hungry dogs are going out, the thoughts are going out and finding all the evidence of why your brother is guilty. What actually sits up above this area of the courtroom is a big sign that says this area leads you to hell and keeps you in hell. And when you walk over to the other side of the courtroom and you sit down and you say, okay, Holy Spirit, what do you say about my brother? The big sign above here says this area leads to heaven and keeps you in heaven. So that's our choice. We can either sit with the ego prosecutor who wants to find our brother guilty, and actually the truth is that who's actually up in the sitting, imagine you're the brother that they're judging. It's actually always you. It looks like your brother, but everything they're saying about them, it's all about you. So that is really the final seeing, is that I'm always judging myself. But to start with, to really get this clear, you're the one listening to each lawyer, ego or Holy Spirit, prosecutor that finds them guilty, defense that finds them innocent. And everything I listen to and I think is about my brother, it's always about me. So when we want to sit with the ego and we listen to the prosecutor, the ego prosecutor that is telling us why our brother is guilty, and we think, yeah, that's right, they did that. Yes, they're guilty, they're bad, they're sinful. Yes, I see that. And you might feel very contented sitting in that and righteous and good. But always remember, you're sitting under the sign that says, this leads to hell and keeps me in hell. So when I listen to that voice, I'm asking to be in hell. I don't realize it, but that's the outcome. And so anytime you think, yes, my brother is guilty, he's bad, he did this, he's sinful, I've got to remember I'm sitting under that sign. I'm keeping myself in hell when I sit with the ego. And so how long does it take to shift who you listen to? Just get up off the chair, move over, sit down and say, okay, Holy Spirit, I want to hear your defense. I want to hear how innocent my brother is. And I'm sitting under the sign that says, when I listen to this voice, it leads to heaven and keeps me in heaven. It keeps me peaceful. So I'm going to choose that. And it doesn't take long to simply decide, hey, if this sign says it leads to heaven and keeps me in heaven, I want to be on this side of the courtroom. And when I find myself back on the other side, all I need to do is say, oops, I wandered over there, and I can't condone my wandering. I have to say, no, I have to go back to the other side and listen to the voice that loves me and loves my brother and will eventually show me that everything that he's telling me about my brother and getting me to shift my perception about all the brothers that I think are guilty and wrong. It's all me. It's all my guilt that is being erased as I bring the light into my mind. So thank you for listening.